Hello and welcome to the review channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing this 2021 BMW 530i. This is a rear-wheel drive vehicle and it's classified as a luxury sports sedan. The car I'm going to be reviewing is the 2.0 liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. This has something called a bi-turbo, which actually has one turbo, but it has the power output of two turbos. Starting out with the front grille, this car has a very aggressive yet intelligent look to it. It's very interesting the way that it blends right in as you're driving along on the road, yet stands out at the same time. Up front you got the kidney grille, which BMW calls it. Very nice with a chrome outline. Right behind the kidney grills we do have a auto shutting grille, which closes when the engine is cold and opens up when it gets hot to let some air in. This plastic right here opens up, and then it also improves aerodynamics for the vehicle. Right above that we have the BMW logo, nice and big. Looking down underneath we have some grills and the radiators right behind that. A little bit of chrome accents on either end right here. And then this is very interesting right here, and a lot of the newer cars are having these. You have a little air scoop vent integrated into the front bumper, which takes air in through here and then lets it out of the back right through here, so it'll cool your tires as you're driving along. This car also has some very sharp looking daytime running lights, which are LED. Not sure if you can see it right now because of the light outside, but it looks very nice. Up front you also got your 360 degrees of front end proximity sensors. Coming around to the side profile, we got a very distinct yet very normal look to the side. You got a few designs that start right here and go up all the way to the end of the car, and then also another one which starts at the end of the car right here from the tail light, and it continues somewhere up till the middle of the front door. It's very simple yet very elegant. Right here you have another air vent which takes air right through the tire arch, right in through here and then out this way, which improves aerodynamics and looks very nice as well. Taking a look at the rim of this car, we got some really nice tires on here. These are Goodyear Eagle Sport tires, which measure at a 245/45 and is an 18-inch rim. Very nice design. As we head to the back of the car, we do notice that there is a moonroof on the top of the car, as well as an antenna. I believe this is called a shark fin antenna. It's a very nice sporty look to it. Coming over to the back end, you have a very simple yet distinct design feature. At first I didn't like these tail lights, as I thought they were way too simple for this caliber of vehicle. But as I've been driving this car around and I've been looking at it more and more, I noticed and I started to realize that I'm actually starting to really like these tail lights. They're very simple in design, yet very, they stand out quite a lot. They're very distinct. And then as you get closer to the car, you notice minor little details, like BMW written right into the tail light. Right up top at the corner, you have the 530i logo. Right underneath the tail lights, you have a reflector, and then your exhaust tips. Then you also have proximity sensors on the trunk or underneath the trunk. We also have a backup camera, which is located right here. And your BMW logo right above that. Very nice looking behind. Right up here at the windshield, we do have a light sensor, which is for your auto high beam system. One very nice feature in this car is when you walk up to the car and unlock it, the mirrors will fold out. And then when you park your car, lock it and leave, the mirrors will fold back up. All right, now let's take a look inside the vehicle. The vehicle does have easy access, which it unlocks as soon as you have the key in your pocket and put your hand right in here in the door handle. First impressions, looking inside, you do get a very business-like feel in here. Got some wood trim going around the tops of the dash and the doors. You got your leather stitching. Very nice designs. We got a speaker right here in the door, as well as your trunk release button right here. Got a cup holder and then a little cubby compartment for storage. Got your unlock and lock buttons right here. Here's the door handle. You got your seat settings. You only have 2 settings for the driver's seat in this car, but that's fine. You got a little ambient lighting strip right up here in between the wood panel and the door trim. Got your window controls over there, mirror controls, and then this button right here will fold your mirrors in or out if you're in a tight spot. But this feature only works when the car is parked. If you're driving, it won't work. Looking over at the driver's seat, you do have a very nice quilted pattern right here in the middle. You got leather, but this is not actual leather. It feels very much like real leather, but it is not. It's much more durable in my opinion and much more easier to clean. The seat does have a 12-way power adjustable setting. You got your lumbar support, and the seat will also hug you. You can set that using these buttons right here. You can adjust the headrest by either lifting or lowering this knob right here, which is also controlled for the lean mechanism. You got your standard drive-by-wire gas pedal, like as in all other BMWs, and a very large, very nice brake pedal as well. Then over here you have all your light controls, as well as the dimming controls for the interior instrument cluster. And then these are parking lights, which you can use when you're parking. If you press this one, it'll turn on the right side one. And then the one below that will turn on the left side one. Let's go ahead and turn these off. So these lights will just give you an extra bit of lighting when you're parking and you need to see things around you, so as that you don't hit a curb or something like that. Because I will mention one thing, that these 18-inch rims do scratch easily if you hit hit a curb or something like that, go over a sidewalk, they will scratch. There are minor scratches on this rim right here from someone going over the curb. Sitting in the driver's seat, this car does have a very executive, very nice feel to it. Let's go ahead and start it up. So this has the push start mechanism where you just have the key fob in your pocket, press and hold the brake, press this button. Steering wheel lowers to start up. We have a nice instrument cluster up ahead. We have a humongous screen right here, which you can do multiple things with. We'll get to that in a bit. Right under that, you have some ventilation. And then you have your proximity sensor controls right here. This will help you set up your lane keep assist and various other driving assist systems. You got your hazard signal right here. Right below that, we have the radio controls right here in this little strip. You got your presets, your volume buttons, and then next and back on a track, and then you got band and mode, and that's about it. Everything else is controlled pretty much by the screen right here. Right below that, you have your climate controls. Very nice standard layout right here. You also get heated seats in this vehicle right here. Right underneath that, you do have a wireless charging pad right here. So if you put your phone down here, it will charge it wirelessly. We have one USB port right there. And then you got your cup holders. And we have another 12-volt outlet right here. This can be closed. Gives it a very nice, clean look to the vehicle. Coming over to the steering wheel, on the left side we have our cruise control settings, and then on the right side you got your media as well as phone controls. You also get a voice control system in this car. This vehicle also has paddle shifters as well as a Triptronic driving mode on the gear lever. Looking down at the center of the steering wheel, we have a little button right here. This is for the heated steering wheel system. So if you press this button, that'll be activated. Right above that, you got your BMW logo. And then this is actually a very large steering wheel. It's quite comfortable to hold. At times though, I feel that it is lacking some character. But then again, you're driving a 5 Series, so you don't want the steering wheel to distract you too much. So it's quite comfortable and very nice. Looking over at the instrument cluster, we got your speedometer on the left and RPM meter on the right. And then there's some few interesting things in this car as well, like a torque meter as well as a horsepower meter. So these two meters right here, this is your torque and this is your horsepower. These will monitor and display your torque input depending on how much you press on the gas, as well as the vehicle's horsepower output will be displayed right here on the right. Then on the left side, you got your gas meter. So it tells you how much fuel you got in the car. And then right under that is a digital display of how much of a range you have. And then over at the right side, you got your vehicle temperature meter. And then right over here, you'll notice that there's two words. One says Auto H and Park. This is for the auto hold system. So if you are stopped at a red light, the vehicle will hold the brakes for you. Well, when you press on the gas, the vehicle will automatically release the brakes and you can continue driving as normal. Looking at the bottom, we do have a temperature meter right here, which tells you the outside temperature. It tells you what gear you're in. So right now I'm in park. And then this also tells you what driving mode you're in currently. So I am in comfort at the moment. And then right in the center, it'll display which street you are on. So right now we're currently on Dewey Avenue. And then on the left of that, you got your seatbelt sensor. This will tell you if you're wearing your seatbelt or not. And right next to that, this little thing right here, right now we're not on the street, so it won't tell you what speed it is, but it does display the current speed limit on the road which you were going, which is a very handy feature. Right next to that, you have a little clock which tells you the time. All right, now let's take a look at the different driving modes. In this car, you have 3 driving modes. You have Sport, Comfort, and Eco Pro. As you select these different modes, the instrument cluster does change. So let's go into Sport. So as we are in Sport, it's displayed right here on the screen, as well as right here. Our instrument cluster has changed a little bit. These edges have turned red and much more sport-like looking. And that's pretty much the only difference when you're from Sport to Comfort mode. But other than that, everything else stays the same. Oh, also we do have a digital display of your speed right here. And then when we switch over to Eco Pro, now this is a little bit different. Instead of an RPM meter, over here on the right side, you have a fuel consumption meter. So this meter will display depending on how much you're pressing on the gas, how much fuel you're using up, whether you're using 60 miles to the gallon, 90 miles to the gallon, or the average of 31.5. And then it'll also show you how much battery usage is being put. So when you stop at a light, you'll see this bar will be full. I'm guessing because that charges the battery, I'm not too sure. And so you can also configure these different modes. So like say if I press Eco, pressing this button right here, press Eco. So I have standard and then I have an individual setting. So in the individual setting, what you can do is actually go in here and configure it to your own setting as how you want the Eco Pro mode to be at. So there'll be an Eco Pro speed, so the car will be limited. It'll give you a notification at 50 miles per hour. Different functions such as coasting, seat heating, climate control. You can control all of that stuff, light and sight. So you're not only just getting an economic driving, you're also getting an economic output, general output of the car as well, as much as lighting goes. As far as the lighting goes, climate control, seat heating, which is very nice. And then also you can change the driving dynamics, such as the steering. You can set it to either sport or comfort. And then if you want, you can just press this button right here and that'll reset everything back to the original settings. This car does have an auto start stop mechanism, which shuts off the engine when you're stopped at a red light. You can turn that off by pressing this button right under the start stop button. I like to just leave it on. Looking over at the center, we do have a emergency brake button right here. So this engages as you put the car in park and shut off the vehicle. This will automatically engage. But if you wanted to, you can always press the brake, press down on, pull up on this, and it'll turn your emergency brake on. Let's turn it off for now. This is the button to control your auto hold. You can press this button and it'll turn that system on or off. And then right here is your proximity sensor on or off button. So if you press this button, it'll either turn off or turn on your proximity sensors so that you'll know how close you are as you're parking your vehicle to another vehicle or object. You got your different drive mode selections here, and then you got your traction control off button right here. And then to the right of that, we have our BMW iDrive system. So this will let you easily control your navigation and things like that as you're driving along, so you don't have to touch it. You can either use the iDrive system or you can just touch it, as this is a touchscreen system. And right in the middle, you got your shifter. This is a very interesting shifter as it is a digital shifter. So what you would do is to put it in drive, you just press the brake, press this button right here which says unlock, and then pull back to put it in drive. And then same way to neutral, go, you push forward, and then to reverse, you push forward again. An interesting thing in this car is when you put it in reverse, the mirror will slightly point downwards so that you can see the curb so you don't hit it. And then to put it in park, all you do is just press this button and it will go in park. Then looking at the dashboard, you have your wood trim right here, as well as some ambient lighting strips right up here. There are also some lighting strips that are below these panels right here. You can't see them right now, but you very well can at nighttime. This car's ambient lighting system is very elegant to look at. All right, now let's take a look at this screen right here. You got a couple things you can do. You got your media controls right here. You can control either what kind of entertainment you want. You can either listen to your radio or Bluetooth and all that kind of cool stuff. You got screen mirroring. Then we got your communications. So it's all to do with your telephone and things like that. You can call someone, add contacts and things like that. You got your navigation right here. I don't really like this navigation system. I just don't feel the green on green colors. It's kind of confusing, but you do get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto in this car. I like to just use my Apple CarPlay. Oh, also I should mention that the Apple CarPlay in this car is wireless, so you do not need to hook up any wires or anything like that to your phone. You can just access it just by hooking up to the Bluetooth, and the vehicle system will automatically connect to your car's Apple Play. Underneath that, you have your car information. So this will give you different things such as driving information, vehicle status. You can adjust settings, experience modes, which is a really nice feature in this car. It lets you, it's basically like unwinding and relaxing. This car has like different expressions so that you can get lost in the moment. Let's see what executive. Use the cool, calm atmosphere to focus your thoughts. So this will display a nice looking view over here on the screen, and then it'll also change the colors of the ambient lighting to match the current mood. It'll just like basically to get you into a certain mood. See what else we got here. We got driver profiles. You can set up your avatar and things like that. Carrying car. Okay, yeah, so this is also part of that what's it, the experience mode. Says basically it tells you to turn on your climate control, put your audio output on, and the car will output different types of air and sounds to make you feel either vitalized or relaxed. You can check certain things such as the vehicle status. You can check your tire pressure monitor, your engine oil level. You can check any on control messages that might be active. And then you can also check any required services which are coming up by selecting all of these. Everything in this car is up to date. Another cool thing in this car is that you have live driving information displayed. So you can get your trip data right here. It'll tell you all about how much fuel you're using, how many miles you've traveled, how your driving has been. There's a little timer down there. It tells you how long you've been driving for. And then also you got your sports displays, which is pretty nice. Displays your PSI, your pound-feet meter, your horsepower meter, vehicle temperature. And then this is very nice. This is a G-force meter. So this will monitor your G-force depending on how much turning you're doing, how much braking, all that stuff. It's pretty cool. A driving style analysis, which tells you your anticipation and acceleration, and it tells you your additional range based on how you're driving. And you got your energy flow. So because this car is a rear-wheel drive, you will only see one type of energy flow, and that'll be from the engine right to the rear wheels. Let me show you a little bit how it looks. Put it in drive. All right. If you're stopped, of course, the energy flow will stop. And then when the engine turns blue, that means the engine is off. Press the gas, the engine turns on, and then you continue. Now let's take a look at the center storage. To open it up, you're going to press this button right here. It'll open up both sides. The console is not too big. There's a little bit of lighting up there. Maybe you can fit a few things in here. But I do have to say, I don't have any complaints when it comes to storage in this vehicle. Even though there's not a ton of storage space, I'm able to just store my regular things, just like any other vehicle I've driven. You can either store things in here or in the door cubbies that you have right here. So I'm utilizing both of the spaces. You also got a USB-C port right here, so you can charge your phone and run the wire right straight out here and to the front. Now let's take a look over at the glove compartment. To open it up, you just lift this latch. Inside there is not much space. You only get a little bit. You got your owner's manual right here. You can get some kind of an idea of how much space you have in here. This is the size of the owner's manual. When it goes in, that's all you're left with pretty much. This is only good for storing maybe paper and things like that, but you might not want to put any objects in here. Here's a look at the front passenger seat. Same as the driver's. You also get the same 12-way power adjustable setting. And then the same way, you have a cup holder right here, as well as some cubby storage. And then a similar yet simple design on the passenger door. You get a speaker right here, as well as tweeter speakers right up here at the top. The sound system in this car isn't anything crazy, but it is very nice and a very standard system. If you look back here at the rear speakers, you will notice that there are two holes, one right here and one right here, for the double speaker system in the back of the car. And there's another speaker right on the other side. Now let's have a look in the back seat of the vehicle. Starting with the door, you do have a similar design to the front. Got your ambient lighting right up here. Got your wood trim, handles right here, window controls, some nice leather stitching on the handle right here, as well as on the door panel. Below that, you have your storage. You got a cup holder and two small cubbies on either end. Very nice looking door. You got a nice thick part right here, which is for added safety. And here are the seats. Very nice. Similar to that look up front, but just in the back seats there is no quilted design. Alright, now let's get inside. So this is my driving position right here. I'm 5'8". I have about 3 inches of leg room. It's not bad at all. I have the passenger seat pushed up quite a bit, so the rear seat passenger side has a lot more leg room. You got two vents right here in the middle. You can either turn them on or off. There is no heated seats in the back of this car because this is the base model. You get two storage compartments right here, two little cubbies. You get two USB-C ports right here in the back for the rear passengers, as well as another 12-volt outlet right here. Get some magazine pockets right here, and one right here. Very nice plastic plate right here on the back of the seats. And then up top you do have your light settings. You know, to turn them on or off. You can turn them both on at the same time. And then you also get some ambient lighting on the back through these little lights up here. Checking out the headroom in the back of the vehicle. I have about maybe 5 to 6 inches above my head, so I'm not too crunched up in here, but it could be a little bit larger, but it's fine. I also have to mention these seats are very comfortable, very soft to the touch, very nice. There's also a armrest back here. If you put this down, this becomes an armrest. And then if you press this button right here and pull this out, you get two cup holders in the middle as well. You can see the ambient lighting a little bit better over here on this door. You can see the two strips. And then there's also some lighting in the cup holders. Looking up top at the front of the car, you do have a very large moonroof, as well as two speakers right here. This is for your phone speaker system. So when you're talking on the phone, they can hear you right through there. Alright, now let's open up that moonroof and take a look at it. To open it up, all you have to do is just pull back on this lever button right here. It's a very nice, very large moonroof, lets in a lot of light. And then when you have it open, you can feel a nice breeze hitting the top of your head, as it is directly above the driver and passenger seats. Now let's take a look at the trunk. To open up the trunk, all you have to do is just press this button right here and it'll automatically open it up. Inside the trunk you get 14 cubic feet of space and 18 with the seats folded down. Those seats do go down and you get quite a bit more space in here. Even though this trunk is very boring and normal looking, there is quite a bit going on. So you have these latches right here so you can tie something down. And you have another storage bin right here. You can put minor items in here, tools or tissue or something like that. And you got a little netting right here where you can put something so you don't want it to roll around. And then right over here is your fuse box. And then another storage bin right here. This one does not have a lid. Put minor things in there. I got a couple water bottles. And then if somebody's locked in the trunk, they can always pull this to release. And you got another 12-volt outlet right here. And then right up top you have the seat release levers. So as you pull these levers right here, these seats will fold down. Pull this one on this side, you got a 60-40 split. Here we have 18 cubic feet of space with the seats folded down. And then this is a automatic closing and opening trunk door. So you can press this button to close it. And this button right here is to lock your doors if you haven't already done so. There's also the kick to close feature on this car. So if you kick, and the trunk closes just like that. You can also open your trunk using this feature. You just walk up to it, do the same thing. It's pretty cool. Comes in handy a lot, especially when you're shopping and your hands are full of groceries. Now let's take a look under the hood, even though there's not much to see because of all the covers that they have on the components. To open the hood, all you have to do is get over at this lever over here on the driver's side and pull it twice. So 1, 2. And then there's no other latch. You have unlocked it completely. All you do is go over here and lift it up. And there she is, twin power turbo. This vehicle puts out roughly 288 horsepower and gets 25 miles per gallon and 33 miles per gallon on the highway. You can see a few of the components, but not much because of this cover and all that stuff. This is the 4-cylinder engine, 2.0 liter twin power turbo. Very nice. And you got one battery over here, and then there's also another one underneath the trunk. And that's it for my review of the 2021 BMW 530i. If you like this review, please leave a like, consider subscribing. And I'll see you on the next one.